All right, good morning, everyone. Welcome back. Corsace Closed 2023. We're here for the semifinals morning. It's gray, cold, and ugly outside, but in here it is nice and warm and cozy, and we're going to get some good OSU matches going. We have mrekk versus Criller, followed up by Malashevsky versus Suwagi. I'm T1G. He's Chillier Pair. What do we think about this first match? mrekk, Criller, two of the best players so far in this tournament.
Please send help to both of these players for what we are about to experience. I think that is the best way I can describe this matchup right now. Apologies for the low voice. It's quite early in the morning, but I think we're gonna reel this one in at the beginning here because I think we have a lot to go through in this matchup this morning. Obviously, everyone knows about mrekk. He's the #1 player in the world. He is extremely successful in tournaments as of recent. I think when mrekk originally showed up to tournaments, he was not the raging success I think that you would have expected from a #1 player, but he slowly started to get there, and now I think he has achieved the position, I think, fitting of a player of his caliber. And then, of course, there's Criller, the German carry tank. Criller has been easily the best player throughout Germany for multiple months to years now, outshining even Whitecat in the tournament performance category, despite Whitecat being the #1 player for quite a while, and has slowly improved over the course of his time in tournaments, despite showing up strong to begin with. So we've got an extremely good match ahead of us right now. Of course, we've got mrekk, the higher-seeded player in here, so Criller fighting a bit of an uphill battle. But I think we've got a lot to look forward to. These stats say a lot about these two players.
Yeah, mrekk, by the most reckoning, is the best player who has ever touched this game. And I don't know that there's a whole lot of argument left you can make against that. His aim is ridiculous. His speed and stamina have gotten ridiculous. And, he's improved and become a great player in basically every skill set you can throw at him, except perhaps a slight weakness for things like precision and reading. But, I think it's a tough one for Criller here just because these pools are so incredibly difficult. I think that's kind of the defining feature of this tournament, is that you have these ludicrously difficult map pools. And when one of the two players has, I would say, a demonstrably higher skill cap, it just lends... The pool just kind of lends itself to that player being a little bit advantaged, which is probably the case with mrekk here. That being said, though, I think there are enough kind of weird maps, like there are some gimmicky and more niche types of picks in this pool, that I think Criller will still have some options for picks. I think he will still have some places he can get his points, despite the fact that mrekk has lost, 2 or 3 points over his first 2 matches here, which, I mean, it's much the same for Criller. These top seeds have been kind of just blowing through their opposition. mrekk with a 6-1 against Crystal in the round of 16, and then a 6-2 against Chaconi in the quarterfinals. Meanwhile, Criller with the 6-3 against MCY4, but he backed that one up with a 6-1 against Rimuru. So both these players have been doing really well this tournament, but the pools start scaling, and that means mrekk starts scaling as well.
We're starting to get into the thick of the Corsace Closed pools here. You generally do start to see semifinals, finals, and even grand finals. The pools here really start to get extremely difficult. Almost, obviously, I don't want to say unplayable, but some maps do borderline become unplayable. Like, you will start to see these top-level tournament players dropping sub 300 and 400k consistently across the board once we get to finals area. But you can already see how this match is going to go from both of these two players here. Criller's immediately getting rid of the speed and stamina picks, and there by no means is that a surprise to anybody here. I mean, you are playing against mrekk. That is his skill set. He is the fastest player from, in most people's minds across the board. We've seen what he can do to a DT pool and speed maps. And of course, mrekk banning out stuff like Hard Rock 3 and Hidden 3. You've got Nothing But Theory and Zetsu, a very awkward hidden pick, a very practice requiring, and then there is the techie Hard Rock map, which makes sense as well. They're going to get immediately into ED1 here to start off. It's 2 minutes and 34 seconds, but it's 270 BP BPM, so really picking up the pace to start here. I think this is a good starting pick for mrekk. He knows exactly what he has an advantage over Criller on.
Yeah, and I mean, first pick 270 BPM, air 10.5 DT1. It seems scary to a lot of people, but I saw this map for the first time and I was like, okay, mrekk is picking this and he's probably just going to FC it because this is the skill set that he became famous for, right? Is just high BPM, high aim requirement DT with some tapping thrown in as well. This suits him to a T, and he does take the lead, though he is behind on accuracy, interestingly enough, but does take the lead after that miss from criller in the first ki. And I mean, you know, criller was always going to double band speed, and mrekk was always going to have a couple of options available. So this is, like you said, not a surprising first pick at all. There is miss aim, but not going to make a big deal of difference because mrekk already up by 120k. Just something that he is expected to be better at in this matchup. And, you know, criller can put his best foot forward, but the likelihood of him winning a map like this was always going to be slim, and I think he knows that going in. So just do what you can. Know that you're probably taking the L on this map, but try to put up a good score anyway, which he's so far doing.
He's looking actually pretty decent right now. mrekk finding a miss around halfway through the map is actually going to be pretty bad for his score if criller does find a good success to the sending gun here. Unfortunately, he does continue to find these miss aims, under aims, specifically to note on this map. And the reason that's very interesting to note is because that means that criller is not necessarily comfortable with the high AR rather than the BPM. He's actually aiming to the notes properly. You can see his cursor going fast enough between the two with the cursor trail here. Unfortunately, the under aim generally means that players are focusing so much on reading this AR that they end up stopping short of notes because it appears and disappears so fast. And it's the biggest telltale of just needing to be a little bit more warmed up with this AR or a little bit more well versed in it. And, you know, fortunately for mrekk, he is used to maps going all the way up to AR 11. So this is just good for him. But criller does come in with a good combo at the ending. He's going to spin his heart out. Unfortunately, it's going to be mrekk taking his own pick home with just fewer misses in the middle of the map at about 315 more combo. So well done to him. Good first DT1 pick. And criller's got plenty to respond with in the coming maps.
Yeah, that was always expected, and honestly, a very good score from criller. I think there's probably people out there who that score would beat on that map. I mean, 490, 500k is a very respectable score on a DT1 that's 8.26 stars. So, yeah, you know. But yeah, mrekk unsurprisingly taking that. So criller goes into his first pick, got, like you said, plenty of options here. You know, he can go something like a tech gimmick. He can go an alt. You know, he can go into a mod pool if he wants. It's going to be the hidden two. And yeah, I actually like this pick a lot. You go the very, very challenging low AR pick. This is air 7.5, CS 4.4, and it is Artisan mapping, which if you've ever seen any of his maps, it is devilishly difficult. You know, 6.8 star in a sea of 7 to 8 star maps notwithstanding, because that is not the important factor about this map. It has overlaps, it has reading, it has some very difficult, like the kick slider and buzz slider patterns in this, man. This is hard.
This is a map that, you know, you see one of these or two of these in every single pool. This is the have you practiced the pool map in here. This is the one that is going to immediately show us who has practiced this pool, or specifically this map, along with how comfortable they are. And right now you can already see that mrekk having just a little bit of trouble with the introduction of this compared to criller. Criller will find a break, but the accuracy difference at the start here with the 50s and the misses, a significant gap, even still despite these misses from criller. Neither player likes this intro, I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah, I'm a little uncertain about criller here with all those misses in that intro. mrekk doing what he does and just holding combo despite the low accuracy. You see how long that can hold up, because sooner or later it feels like it's going to catch up with him. But all these misses from criller, his hack is not doing the greatest, but still up by 3% going into the first ki. So he should be able to pull this lead over if he can sustain some combo. But so far, both players having a fair amount of trouble. Those pattern, that thing right there. Yeah, that triangle thing is illegally difficult.
Practice
like,
won't save you on that.
No. And here we go into these buzz slider patterns, which apparently is the easiest part, which I thought it was hard, but apparently it was easy. And both players come out with identical combo after breaking multiple times on the same pattern. And that means mrekk with a tiny, tiny lead, but it is so minimal.
Yeah, a single combo break for mrekk right now is going to break this over, but likewise for criller, any miss before mrekk is going to give this heavily in favor of mrekk here. He is only up about 100,000, and criller is slowly losing that accuracy lead. He's just completely over-tapping these square bursts here. And both players matching up on the combos now. No room for error, really. Halfway through the map, and both of these players still holding. Oh my god.
They hit the slider pattern, and then they both broke right after.
Oh no. Well, criller made up quite a bit of score with that.
Yeah, mrekk broke again after while criller held. And that's now a 50 combo lead as mrekk finds a couple of misses. So criller finally takes the lead on his own pick here as we hit the 2/3 mark. That was... I don't know. Okay, there's a couple more misses from criller. Not what you want to see. How well can mrekk hold through this section? It's going to be very challenging. He makes it all the way through. All right, so we're going to go... Oh, criller.
No.
Oh, buddy.
No.
Oh, buddy. Well, mrekk looking to maybe take a break point on the low AR hidden here. We're going to have the last Ki coming up after this break. He's got an 11,000 point lead, which is virtually nothing. Spinning like mad. And in we go. How well can both players handle the diff spike at the ending here? Not very well as both break. That's actually in mrekk's favor, though.
It is in mrekk's favor, actually. It's now 20,000 points in the lead for mrekk. And unfortunately for criller, the thing that's doing the damage right now is all these chain misses he's finding. It's not one singular isolated miss. It's always 2 or 3 from him. And unfortunately, that loses more score than what he's able to gain through these short spurts of 80 to 100 combo here. You really need 200 to 300 combo to make up for a chain miss like that. And both players do hit that cut stream at the ending, but it's going to be mrekk taking the break point so early on in the match.
Yeah, you know, like, we don't think of mrekk as being this beast of a low AR hidden player, generally speaking, and criller did end up with the lower 100 count and the better combo. But like you were saying during the map, criller just found those multiple misses many times, ended up with 21 misses versus mrekk having only 10. And you take out those misses, even if they were hundreds, it wouldn't matter. mrekk would, I think, not be able to win it at that point because criller would make up so much score from the score lost to the misses. But it's going to be a break point. It's going to be a 2-0, and we're going to get Kendrick Lamar. Let's go, dude.
Oh, let's go. Yeah, let me check the score difference on that map in the ending, because I do think that quite literally misses alone could have been the difference. Yeah, so it was about 40,000 score on the dot between those two players, which on Score V2, 11 misses?
Yeah, 11
that
misses,
is,
right? Like,
yeah. That's a lot of score. It may
not have been enough on its own, but it was certainly close.
It's enough to raise his score because of the miscount loss, and it's enough to raise his accuracy to improve whatever score he was gaining. So it was definitely going to be a close one, but going back into DT here, no surprise for mrekk, regardless of this being a very, very tight finger control map in here. This is exactly the type of stuff he lives for, but he does find a bit of an over-aim at the beginning here. It's going to give criller a bit of wiggle room at the start of the map, but we've got a bit to go here, too. 2 minutes long.
Yeah, I mean, one early break isn't going to be the end of the world, but criller looking confident in his ability to at least combo this. Whether or not he can ack it is a different matter, but really neither player holding good ack, so it's not going to be a big deal. But there are the chain misses on this difficult aim pattern coming from both players. Doesn't really hurt criller that much because mrekk was missing there as well. But mrekk now starting to hold a little bit more, builds up a little bit of a combo advantage as we hit the halfway mark. The score lead, though, 35,000 points in favor of criller. Just that better combo in the intro where mrekk broke. And it does get a little easier for a bit now, so this is kind of some free combo for both players. I would have felt crazy going into this for suggesting this, but criller may be en route to a break point here if he can hold on.
He's got to hold the combo through this difficult section coming up, though, with these big snaps in between. It's definitely something Criller is usually good at, and this would be a break point that he needs to get into the ending of this, and it looks like he's actually going to get it. mrekk finds the break into the outro.
Wow. Yeah, this is going to be a break point. How about that?
I guess it's, yeah, this map is, you know, I mean, if you really look at this, this is quite a gimmicky DT pick in here, even for fast finger control DT map in here. You know, you've got these tight aim patterns here. You've got to focus up. You've got to be able to tap to these properly and aim to them. And it's something Kriller's really good at, and he's actually going to finish with an exceptional 550,000 over mrekk, putting up about 350,000. So we've got a 200,000 point lead. And Criller finishes with the accuracy and the combo lead. That is a break point going immediately back to him on mrekk's own pick.
Yeah, Criller was better in every way on that map. Like, every stat went in his favor. I am very impressed. Like, we know he's good at gimmicky stuff, but I really expected... I just expected more out of mrekk on that pick, and now we've flip-flopped some picks that you would not expect, like the hidden 2 going to mrekk and then the DT3 going to criller. I mean, granted, this isn't like your standard quote-unquote DT3 where it's like the high BPM type of pick. This is, you know, finger control, aim control, but still pretty surprising to see criller getting the win on the DT. And he's going to say, I am going to go back-to-back with your American rap song pick, and we're going to pick the Outcast map. And this is another one that's very finger control heavy. This one also has a lot of reading. This conjures up memories of last year's semifinals, Nomad 6, the Anna Apple map, where it's just like these like ridiculous overlap finger control patterns and perfect stacks and such. So I like this pick from Criller. He did lose the hidden 2, but I think going back into another reading map is probably his best option here nonetheless.
I 100% agree. I think he had a little bit of trouble with that hidden 2 with the chain misses, and as long as he can get rid of those on this Nomad 6, I think he's got a great opportunity here to do some damage, especially if he's practiced this pool and he knows exactly what he's in for in this. Let's get a little chat participation during this map as well. Everyone type out who your favorite Outcast member is in chat immediately. And I guarantee you 99% of people don't know either of the members of Outcast.
It's been a while since I've listened to any Outcast.
It's also been a while since Kriller's found a bit of combo here at the introduction. Really struggling to try and make it through these patterns here. These stacks messing with him. It looks like he's going to try and clean it up a little bit here into the second quarter. But man, mrekk has a huge lead because of it now. And he continues to find chain misses. Oh my goodness, a mispick from Criller by a huge stretch right now.
Yeah, I'm a little dumbfounded. Like, you know, he lost the hidden 2 because of the chain misses. I thought, okay, you know, that'll happen. Like, it's an easy map to have that happen on, even if you're practiced on it. But then he comes into his own next pick of the Nomad 6 here, and he's still completely incapable of holding any sort of combo whatsoever. I don't know if he just expected mrekk to be as bad as he is, or if this is like the worst run he's ever had on this map. But this is not a good look here for Criller on his own second pick. And meanwhile, mrekk is just shredding. Like, who knew mrekk was this good at this type of map? I don't know that I did. The low AR throws so much difficulty at you on this map, but mrekk's just handling it with ease while Criller continuously breaking. He's not even at 100,000 points yet, and mrekk's over 300k.
Honestly, I guess, you know, you hit the point where you can read AR-11, and I guess it just goes both ways. If you can read stuff that appears and disappears that fast, you can surely just read multiple notes on screen as well, given, you know, your brain just must be so huge in order to do that. But he's putting up an exceptional score. Yeah, right? It's just like, you can perceive all things. But man, this play from mrekk is just absolutely dominant. I don't even know if Criller would have been able to match this play even if he was playing this map well. This is going to end up being close to 500k on a very difficult Nomad 6 here. And Criller really just, you know, I've got to wonder why. I think after the hidden 2, if Criller knew he was extremely comfortable on this Nomad 6, I would have been able to understand it. But it is quite clear in my mind that Criller is not comfortable with this map by any stretch of the imagination right now. He does end with a decent combo into the ending there, but nothing near what mrekk was putting up on this map. So either mrekk just had a crazy play, which he did, but Criller needs more than whatever is happening with his picks right now, unfortunately. He's really just kind of handing these to mrekk on a silver platter.
Well, the nice thing for Criller now, of course, is that he doesn't have another low AR map to pick and have that happen again. So now he's going to be forced to change his pick strategy. And I wonder if he just kind of tunnel visioned maybe a little bit. Like he said, I'm going against mrekk. The one thing he's maybe not the greatest at in most people's expectation is low AR reading types of maps. So I'm going to just go ahead and pick the two of those maps back to back. But mrekk, of course, he's, when you're as good as he is in general, like, you're just going to be good at basically every skill set. Like, he's a player who is capable of doing anything, and if he can't do it, he'll learn it. So that's just another break point. That's 3 straight break points, actually. Like you said, bit of a mispick from Criller, but we'll see what mrekk comes up with now. The DT pool is gone completely. Not any raw speed left in this pool, so he's gonna have to switch it up a little bit. And I'm very curious to see where he goes. If mrekk goes maybe raw mechanics some more, or if he throws us a curveball or what.
Yeah, I think mrekk really should maybe look towards some of the faster aim picks, or if any, anything such as that in this pool.
Nomad one.
Well, yeah, that's exactly what he's looking for here. I think right now, Criller definitely comfortable on the Nomad, definitely comfortable on the mechanics, but given the track record of this match so far, mrekk has just a little bit of an advantage on that. He looked just slightly better on the DT1 in terms of the aim, with Criller under aiming a couple of the patterns. So I think it makes sense that he likes to go for something, such as Nomad 1 at this point in the match, especially when Criller has been actively avoiding mechanics at the introduction of this map. Like that's the thing. Despite being not entirely comfortable with Hidden 2 and Nomad 6, Criller opted to go for those instead of basic aim mechanics, which against mrekk makes sense, but it's still, to me means that mrekk has this confidence through the mechanics pool that Criller maybe doesn't hold right now. And, player statistics aside, with mrekk having a higher aim score than Criller, this is a Nomad 1, and anything can technically happen on this, even in semifinals, especially between two players of this caliber right now. And, mrekk has lost one breakpoint. I see no reason he couldn't potentially lose another one here, but given the track record of this match so far, mrekk has been significantly more consistent.
Yeah, I feel that this is a skill set that both these players can be good at, but mrekk, one of the best aim players in the game, right? And when you get up to these 8.2 star Nomad 1s, especially at this really high BPM, 224 BPM, pretty high for a Nomad 1, I feel that just tilts it a little bit more in the favor of mrekk. So we'll have to see what Criller can come up with here. His big problem with the DT one was the high AR. I think we kind of agreed on that. So this one dropping back down to a normal AR maybe will allow him to be a little more consistent with his aim than he was before. Not entirely sure what we're waiting on here, but we'll get into it hopefully soon, and we'll find out what these guys' big full screen jump aim looks like, because this is really a very stereotypical Nomad 1. I feel like it does have a little bit of tapping, but not a lot, and just some really big aim, and it's pretty decently long, right? This is almost 4 minutes long. A lot of combo in this one.
Yeah, I think contrary to most other picks in this pool, this really does bring it back home a bit to where these players are comfortable here. So I'm excited to see how they play on something more, back to normalcy. We say with cross screen jumps appearing immediately.
I mean, that is normal for a Nomad 1, though, eh? So we're gonna go in and we're gonna see what happens, because Nomad 1, right? You hit the free combo and then you hope not to miss on the diff spikes, and somebody probably does eventually, but we'll have to find out who it is. We did see the break from Criller right at the start in the intro, about 50 combo in, 60 combo in. mrekk with a little bit of an early lead, but nothing to write home about when you've got a 4-minute map ahead of you. And that is some act dropped there by the Australian player. We'll give the act lead over to Criller. And they both hit the entire first jump pattern as we head to the key eye. That bodes well going forward. Criller with that accuracy lead, helping out just a little bit, despite the slightly lower combo.
This is high BPM for a Nomad 1.
Yeah,
I think even by Nomad 1 standards, 224 is quite high, especially for an almost 4-minute long map. We're bringing it back to almost that DT1 styled pick in here. And really the big difference is just the AR being lower. Both players are absolutely reaming these big jumps right now. Wow.
Oh my god. They just make it look so easy, dude.
That was crazy. Both players hitting that.
I'm surprised Criller hasn't taken the lead with the ACK lead. He's not. But I guess he's just enough combo behind off the intro.
Yeah, I guess when you're both above 99, I guess it doesn't matter too much here, because I think he is down about 50 combo, a little over actually.
I think it's 60 right about, but it's close enough either way. mrekk dropping some surprising hundreds, but it's not going to matter because he's got that combo lead. The ACK is close enough, like you said, but man. I mean, 13, 14K score all that's separating the players the halfway mark. Any one miss, and that's how Nomad 1 goes, any one miss will flip the script in an instant. So you just gotta hold your aim so carefully through these giant screen jumps. And there goes a break from mrekk, and that's gonna be the lead instantly on over to Criller. This is why Nomad 1 is always scary, because one miss and it's just done if the other player holds, which was the case here. Criller holds, mrekk doesn't, and now he's got, just like that, a 50k lead.
Well, Criller might have been scared to pick the aim mechanics against mrekk earlier. He surely won't be now if he's able to hold combo for any respectable amount of time here. He does finally find a break, but not before putting up about a 200 combo lead over mrekk on the maximum combo. So that is going to give him a little bit of wiggle room here into the ending. As long as mrekk and Criller both hold combo into this outro here, Criller is still able to win this pick, and both players see the score now. Criller knows he's ahead. mrekk knows he has the combo lead, but he also knows that he has to hold it in order to have a chance of winning this pick. And both players need to FC the ending of this map right now in order for this to go their way.
Yeah, if they both hold, I believe Criller wins. And if somebody breaks, the other player just auto wins, I'm pretty sure. If one player misses, the other holds. And it looks like the former situation might be what happens here. Both players hitting all of these jumps into the ending, which is ridiculous. This is 8-star aim, remember? But they're making this look like child's play. And that is both guys FCing into the ending. And that means that lead that Criller built up should hold on. That max combo did a lot of work for him. And with it only being a 200 combo lead, mrekk just didn't have enough to work with to try to bring this back. It's going to tighten up just a bit, but it's going to be a 30,000-point win for Criller. One miss apiece, but wrong place, wrong time, unfortunately, for that miss for mrekk. And Criller takes the break point, and he is one pick of his own now away from tying this up. 2 misses apiece by the end because of the trolls of the ending, but you know. And a little bit of ACK carry too. 10 fewer hundreds for Criller kind of helps a little bit as well when the score difference is that close.
Yeah, that's definitely maybe a good half of that score difference there on the accuracy alone. But man, that is some demonic aim from both of these players here. 2 misses on either side on this at 1,000+ combo for each on 224 BPM high star aim. That is extremely difficult, and I think you could kind of see the difficulty of the map on stream, but I think it's important to convey just how difficult that is, despite how, big those jumps looks. They are more difficult than that, especially when you're playing them in a high-pressure scenario. And both of these players are used to those scenarios here. Of course, Criller with his extremely lengthy tournament pedigree at this point, and mrekk with his, experience playing tournaments now, as well as, his solo play, being used to these huge jump, fast, high BPM maps in here. And that's Criller winning both of mrekk's second and third picks now. And mrekk going to try and look to potentially win another one of Criller's picks in order to compensate for that. But Criller going to make it extremely, extremely difficult going into Nomad 4. This is the aim control slider heavy tech pick here from Halgo. This is actually mapped quite a long time ago now. However, it is just now being thrown into Corsace Closed because people realize how demonic Halgo sliders are once again. And This pick, I want to say this is favored to Criller because of, Criller's, again, we talked about his ability to play aim control and these kind of like fast, high velocity tech slider style maps in here. But, Criller hasn't won a single one of his picks so far. And for him to win one of his picks now would be absolutely massive for him to even this match out right now. So, let's see if mrekk maybe finally drops the ball on one of Criller's picks.
Yeah, it's been a bunch of breakpoints so far. I mean, what have we seen now? Is it 4 breakpoints in a row? Out of the 5 points, the only one that somebody won was mrekk on his own first pick. So, if that trend can keep up, we might see mrekk get another break here. But like you said, this does feel like a pretty solid Criller map. Also, he has, I believe, the experience with this map from it being in Hippo Cup a few weeks ago. I don't know... mrekk's team ended up forfeiting that weekend. I don't know if he actually practiced the map or not, because I didn't get to see him play it. But, Criller at least had seen this map already, had practiced this map a bit, I believe, before, it showed up in this tournament. So we'll see if that experience with it pays off at all, or if both players end up in a similar sort of situation, which looks like it may be the case. And, yeah, the Halgo sliders, man, they may be ugly, but... actually, that's all I got. They're just ugly. It's going to be the first break from Criller, and mrekk holding on so far through the first third. Very demonic flow patterns as well in this. You cannot let up for an instant because you can get caught really easily on that spacing.
Well, unfortunately for Criller, he's getting caught out a little bit here. mrekk is going to be taking a sizable lead going into the halfway point of this map here. However, that does mean that mrekk does have the possibility of breaking within this ki here and having his score capped. We're approaching that halfway point, and that is the danger zone for most players. As they know, you find a single break at this section right now on either side, and you're not going to have a good time trying to come back in the remainder of the map. Both players now with a huge combo. Criller now pushing up 500, and mrekk going to be hitting 1,000 in this section right now. Any break from either player, they're both going to hold it through the spaced wiggle. But here come the sliders.
Giant sliders. Yeah, it is screen slider time. Now, granted, you can kind of cheese this a little bit. And there is going to be the slider break from mrekk, but at the same time, Criller breaks as well. No advantage gained for the German player, unfortunately, and that means that this big lead for mrekk is going to hold out for quite some time. It is an S rank still for mrekk. Criller with 1 or 2 misses. He broke on that early pattern. Also, the 2% accuracy lead is notable. Just a very impressive AC play on a map like this on Score V2 from mrekk. You can't really be surprised by it at this stage, but it is still pretty impressive to see. But there is another break from both players. All right, never mind. Just another break from mrekk, but it was both of them.
Yeah, I think, again, this comes back to mrekk just being so comfortable with, high AR, high velocity mapping styles. He is just so much more comfortable with these high velocity sliders and these quick shifts and patternings that it lets him have that accuracy. He's able to follow these sliders. He's able to keep track of these patterns so much more fluidly than Criller is because he's well-versed in maps that are higher intensity than this. Despite for most players, the sliders and Halgo maps being absolutely inaccessible with their speed, I think to mrekk, this is kind of like standard territory, and I think that's where the accuracy comes from, for one. It's also where that miscount is coming from. He hits every single spaced stream in that map without fail.
That is a really damn impressive S rank. That is very, very impressive from mrekk. You do not easily zero miss that map. Unless you're the best player in the game, I guess. And, I mean, not even a bad score from Criller, but mrekk just on a different plane of existence in that one. And that is now 5 straight break points, Chillier. Nobody wants to win their own picks at all.
It's never going to happen.
Sooner or later, somebody's got to do it. I mean, technically speaking, if it keeps going this way, mrekk is just going to end up winning, but you'd like to see them, winning their own picks eventually, because it just kind of feels weird otherwise.
One winning pick right now so far. It is the DT1 from mrekk on his first pick of the match, is the singular winning pick on their own choice so far in this match, which is absolutely crazy to think about. At the beginning.
All right, so mrekk lost Nomad 1, so he's probably not going to pick Hidden 1 or Hard Rock 1. Okay, we're going to go Nomad 3. This is such a cool Nomad 3 alt pick. I really like this a lot. Very high BPM aim control alt in kind of that Corsace style. I feel like this is, when you think of like Corsace Nomad 3s, this map really encapsulates very well what they typically represent, where it's not flow alt. It's very much aim control, snap aim alt. And it's usually very fun to watch, and it makes for very cool maps. And this one's no exception.
Well, I think, all things considered, this is not a terrible pick for mrekk. I do question it just slightly, given Criller's performance on maps such as DT3, where he did look a little bit better on some of those snappy aim control patterns. Maps like Nomad 2 still open within this pool for mrekk, and I wonder if he's just potentially either saving it in case Criller wins his next pick, or if he just wants to maybe, branch out a little bit, try out more of the pool for this finals match here, or for the semifinals match here, try and cover all the bounds. And unfortunately for Criller, he's actually going to get note locked immediately at the beginning of the map on those back and forth jumps, the 1-2s. But both players going to get comfortably into the rest of the map now. It looks like just that one game mechanic blunder for Criller at the beginning here. We're going to see what happens as we get into the remainder of this 3-minute long alt pick.
Don't you love getting gapped by game mechanics rather than by anything you actually did wrong? Isn't that the greatest?
The true way. One miss turns into 4.
Yo, any Nomad 2 enjoyers in the chat? But yeah, it's gonna give that early lead to mrekk. He's holding on to a pretty solid performance here so far through the first few under combo. But we haven't gotten to that first ki yet, so this is where it's gonna really ratchet up. And there's a big chain miss on that that spaced pattern from Mr. Criller. And now it's a player holding the lead on their own pick for the first time in a while. And you can see these kind of back and forth aim, the square aim. There is, I guess, a little bit of flow aim that I kind of forgotten about thrown into this as well. But mrekk handling it all very comfortably, while Criller with a couple breaks.
That is the saddest way to lose a double S I have ever seen in my life. mrekk over tapping. Oh no.
Speaking of note lock, he just wanted Criller to feel better about himself. Oh man, I blame the wooting.
I do blame
the keyboard's fault.
It is actually, dude. It happens all the freaking time. Your finger just like, oh, whoops! I pressed my finger down a modicum of a millimeter, and then
bro got wooted for real.
He got wooted for real.
Okay, so mrekk still up by over 1% accuracy, but Criller now in the lead combo-wise. 60k score gap, 70k score gap maybe in a sec. We'll see. That accuracy kind of helping a little bit. And there's a break from Criller on nothing. I'm not really sure how he broke out the pattern that he did, but as if mrekk didn't have a commanding lead already, now it's a really commanding lead with 500 combo and 100k in his favor. There was kind of a chance, a very small chance there for Criller, but he unfortunately was not able to make the most of it.
There was, honestly. He brought it back into about 100,000 score. It was actually sub 100,000 score difference at one point there when Criller was holding combo. Unfortunately, now, though, mrekk putting up about a 700 combo to Criller's 250 really is going to make this insurmountable at the ending here, unless mrekk misses half of the remaining notes. Unfortunately, there really is no way to lose enough score in order for Criller to be able to gain against this right now, despite both players hitting this very difficult ending. It's going to be a chain miss for mrekk. But
not nearly
still over 100,000. Yeah, he's going to basically make up the difference that mrekk gained against the combo earlier. Criller's going to be able to close the 100k gap, but certainly not the entire thing. And especially with that miss at the ending, it's going to stop it, and it does end up being sub 100k in the end.
Yeah, I mean, Criller pulled it back a little bit, but it was not enough, unfortunately. And, well, we finally got our wish. Somebody won their own pick. It happened at long last after 5 straight breakpoints, and unfortunately, in the interest of this, match remaining close, it was mrekk winning it rather than Criller winning it, and so that is a 5-2 lead. That is several match points in his favor, And, well, if you're Criller, you're just trying to stay alive here. You've got loser's bracket to fall back on, but you'd like to make this one at least last a little bit longer. Still some options in the pool. Still some cool picks to go for if he wants to find something to try to extend this match out a little longer, but it's going to be hidden one. So, you're Criller, you win Nomad 1, you wait a little bit, and you pick hidden one, which is a true hidden one. It's very awkward. It's got some kind of difficult rhythms. It's got a little bit of 1/3, 1/4, and 1/6 to go along with some standard, 1/2 snapping. And it's got those like full screen, slight wiggly, flowy things every time that she sings ankle biters in the song, which are really cool. But everybody's gonna miss on them, or everybody's gonna hit them, and it's gonna be really sick.
This is the type of map that makes you question your existence in tournaments a lot of the time. This is one of the most uncomfortable hidden one aim picks that I think we've seen as of recent. And these flow aim patterns at the beginning are already kind of a testament to just how uncomfortable this is. That pattern is absolutely disgusting. And there is more of those throughout the entire map, along with these extremely awkward, difficult, wide angle jump patterns in here. It's going to be Kriller's loss at the beginning of the map there, especially with that early 1/3 pattern leading to a significant number of misses here. We've got many of these linear aim patterns to go, and there's more.
That's exactly what I was talking about. I feel like... there's another one. Kriller hit that one. I feel like Attendant is a bit of an untapped resource when it comes to Hidden One, because that dude always maps like this, kind of just awkward aim, and a lot of pretty good... He's mapped a few different Western songs that are really good. Shoutouts to my angel, Haley Williams. But, yeah, this is just very difficult to retain that consistency on, because it switches up what it's throwing at you so often. But it looks like maybe a little bit of comfort being established here. Both players up to around 200 combo. Fortunately for Kriller, he has 40 combo behind, 30 combo behind, and 50k behind. And mrekk breaks. Oh,
that's big.
Door opened. Door status opened.
Kriller potential right here, quarter of the way left in the map. We've got another big spike pattern coming up right here, and he might be able to turn the score over before that happens.
It's the 1/3 stream. Goes over Kriller. Oh, he breaks it though. mrekk does not have a lot of combo. He only has 100 combo, so he's going to need a little bit more difficulty from Kriller at the ending here to bring this back over. It is about a 30k lead for Kriller, so he did give himself a little bit of leeway, but another break is not going to help his case.
It's not good for Kriller. He needs mrekk to find a break into the ending here. The score lead's going to go over on these linears.
No. mrekk hits the entire ending. He hits the ankle biters. He hits the 1/3 stream, misses at the very end, but it's not enough for Kriller. And mrekk snatches the pick away in the last few hundred combo, and he snatches the match away with it. That's a 6-2 final. mrekk, your first winners finalist here in Corsace Closed. I feel for Kriller. I really thought he had that one.
Really did think he did. He had so much good combo in the middle of the map, and unfortunately the beginning and the ending of that just not going in his favor, but it's going to be mrekk taking the win. The higher seeded player, of course, the second seeded player moving on into our winners finals. Whoever could have seen that one coming. 6-2 victory against a very well-versed, well-seasoned tournament veteran Kriller here, but he is looking good going into that grand finals match. His name littered all over this match leaderboard right here, winning his first pick, winning every single one of Kriller's picks without fail, honestly, the closest of which being that hidden one at the ending there. And it was really, really just a type of match that could have gone slightly more in Kriller's favor, but mrekk easily had a command over this match the entire time. You could see he was very comfortable with every map in this pool.
Yeah, I mean, it was surprising to see mrekk drop the break points that he did. I don't think we really expected those to occur. And the fact that he was able to win all 4 of Kriller's picks really does just speak to his comfort level with the maps in this pool. I've long said that a tournament motivated mrekk would be a very, very scary thing because of his just raw skill cap and his improvement rate being so ridiculous. But this match, mostly showed that to us. There's a couple of question marks on those breakpoints that he dropped, but for the most part, mrekk looking pretty dominant. Takes the 6-2 win over Criller, advances onward to the winners final. Criller sent down to losers bracket, his opponent next week to be determined. But well done to mrekk, sets up what'll surely be an exciting matchup in winners final with either player coming out of the other side of the semis. And with that, we are going to have a little bit of a break in between the matches here.